Hi, Jeff Kraus, president of Kraus Co. Sports. What I'd like to go through with you now is kind of what we like to do on a phone call. We make a lot of calls, trying to make sure coaches are aware that the company exists and that the products exist. And when you're making a call, if you're fortunate enough to get through to the coach, a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, what we're really trying to get out of that call is to make them aware of those things, that we exist and what the products are. But the ultimate out of the call would be to get an appointment. That's perfect. That's where we're at our best, is when we can get the products in their hands and they can see how to use them. So that's the ultimate thing. Now that's not always going to happen, but when it doesn't, what are you trying to get? You want to get all the coaches' contact information, current contact information, so that you can send them information about the product, that you can get video links over to them, so that they can see with their own eyes that this is being used by the best schools in America, that they can see the testimonial from Ron Burton, the D-line coach at Michigan State, that they get sent to the website so they see the Green Bay Packers are using it. So real things that we want them to see. And a couple of things that we like to do on phone calls is, number one, when you call, is introduce yourself as Coach so-and-so. That's very important for us, because that, from a sales standpoint, those are the guys you're the guys who sell the product the best, the ones who know football. The guys who know football. So tell them you're Coach so-and-so, and you want to call them to let them know that you're the rep for Kraus Co. Sports. So it's very simple. I'm Coach Kraus from Kraus Co. Sports. I just wanted to let you know that I'm the rep in your area for Kraus Co. And that's a great segue to the coach saying, okay, and then you being able to say, do you know about our products? We've got just a few products that have been extremely effective in making football players better. And that normally gives you a nice opening to go into very quickly, how is it beneficial? Well, if the coach says, well, I'm not familiar with it, can I take 30 seconds of your time to just give you the overview and maybe send you some information? And see where the conversation goes. The overview that I like to give is pretty simple and straightforward. We've got a product that's a handheld shield with spring-loaded arms. Why is it useful? Number one, it's handheld. You're incorporating movement into everything you do. You never have an opponent that doesn't move. Never. So, offensively, part of every offensive play is blocking. Every offensive play involves blocking. The shield is great because the coach sees hand placement and head placement automatically. So you're working blocking with O-linemen, backs, wide receivers, and there's also a lot of release stuff you can do with the product as well. Defensively, every single play involves engaging the opposition and disengaging. It's a great product for that, for spacing, for pad level, for hand combat. So that's the basics of the shield. We also have a product called the muzzles for offensive line training. And with the muzzles, you've got something that promotes perfect technique for your offensive lineman's hands, and it's a tremendous footwork tool because it doesn't allow them to hold. Also, the muzzles have been incorporated into defensive back play because, again, working the jam off of bump and run coverage, it's a great tool to get guys not to grab, not to hold, to recover, forces them to work their feet. So the basics of this phone call, the information I want to relay is to get them in having the idea, a handheld shield with spring-loaded arms, the muzzles, they can kind of picture it, but to know it's going to make them better offensively at the basics of the game. Blocking, every position does it, except maybe your quarterback. Defensively, engaging your opponent and disengaging, because you got to get to the ball. So those are the big things that I like to go into in my brief overview on the phone. And then it's just remember exactly what you're trying to get. Just introduce them to the product. The perfect thing you could get is an appointment. Coach, I'd love to bring it by and show you. It'll take 10 minutes. That's all you need. 10 minutes, get it in their hands, let them see it, play with it a little bit. And once coaches get it in their head, as far as what the product can be used for, they'll see that it's extremely useful. So that's kind of how I like to go about the phone call. And be enthusiastic on your calls. Remember, the fundamental thing that gives me comfort in every single call that I make to these coaches is I know I'm trying to give them a tool that's going to make them better. Because it will, it works. And that's the fundamental thing that you should be going in as your mindset, to give you some enthusiasm, let you really pump up the conversation and talk to the coach. The next thing we'll do here is introduce Pat Crawley. He's a sales rep for us here in the Midwest and has had a tremendous amount of success selling the Colt and the muzzles in Wisconsin, and has worked numerous clinics for us. So we're going to let him walk through a little bit of how he handles phone calls, just as another reference point for you.